Good morning.
Backyard hang. Andy, I checked in with you, dude. You're not even on mic.
You're
now.
not. No one can hear you right now. No one can hear you right now.
But the
No,
microphone is
mic's not-
pointing
I can see
down
it not doing
towards
it.
your
You got to pick it
penis.
up. I can see it not. So it's like we got to
We're
talk into the mic
talking,
or we're not doing it. It's
and
like,
then there's a huge gap when you talk.
Okay, sorry.
You can't be
We were
indignant.
starting.
I didn't know I had to pick the microphone up right away. Usually Tommy says, "Welcome to the backyard hang," and then Alex goes, "Whoopity doopy doo doo." So I thought I still had a couple
No.
seconds.
I said your full name, your full Christian name before the pie. Checked
don't
in with
even
you
know it.
specifically. I don't know that I know your middle name. Andy
Levi.
Woodhull.
You had to think about the last name.
Yeah, I got tripped up on the last name. Look at that. Cute
And
as a
I'm
bug.
Andrew.
Cute. Andrew.
Yeah.
When
right.
in your life have you always been Andy? Is it just from the jump?
Whole
it was
life,
Andy.
Yeah.
Does your mom call you Andrew?
Nope.
And you've been Tommy since before
I am
you.
Tommy.
I mean, 7 years ago.
My name is Tommy.
I don't
That's
know.
just you start that and you am that.
I'm gonna dig into that a little bit.
Are you
I like having a
Alexandro?
business name.
I'm Alex. I've always been Alex. I'm Alexander when I get in trouble. I'm Alexander Lewis Stone when I get in trouble.
I'll say Andrew at restaurants and stuff. Like we need a name. I'll say Andrew.
And with taxes, doctors, and banks, I go Alexander because I feel like I'm supposed to, but I don't even know if that's true. And airplanes also go Alexander.
You got it on airplanes.
Gotta do it on an airplane. One time I put Alexander, and they're like, "What's your middle name?" And I put Lewis, and because Alexander's so long, Lewis got cut off, and it was like LOU, like it wasn't full thing, and it fucked everything up for a minute.
Oh man,
it was a whole rigmarole.
What a nightmare!
It was a rig and a roll.
Why your name so long?
You believe
man?
that, Andy? I can't believe it. Could not believe it myself.
This is the thing I put into my phone that wasn't even tied into the story I told on the Patreon, which we just recorded.
Join that Patreon, by the way. It's
Join the
low
Patreon.
tier. You get in, you support the podcast, you get extra episode every week, you get goodies.
You get the video, you get specials, you get pilots, you get things before things come out.
You get pictures of Alex's feet.
Yeah, we could do that. I don't know if I'd love that.
Alex, a toenail is about to fall off. People want to see that.
God.
I became a foot perv on accident this week.
Okay.
I'm listening.
I became a foot pervert on accident this week.
Go on.
So, my stepdaughter is doing tattooing. She's doing tattooing. That's just the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
She's doing tattooing, and she posts the tattoo she does. She's great. By the way, if you live near Danville, Virginia, you go get a tattoo from my stepdaughter. She works at a place called Poker Club.
And what would her social media be if people wanted to contact her about the tattoo?
Olive Tats. She posts a picture of she'll do these like you got a bad tattoo. She'll cover it up. She'll fix it with a good tattoo.
Oh yeah.
And so she posts one of these, and it's this beautiful like flower arrangement on this lady's foot. But she like edited out the toes. She like drew over the toes in the phone app so you can't see any of the toes. And I just commented, it's a great tattoo. So curious what's going on with those toes.
Let me see those toes, girl.
And then unintentionally, the lady was like, the lady whose foot it was commented, yeah, what was wrong with my toes? I painted them specifically because I was getting this tattoo done, and I knew there would be photos taken. And then Olivia said, I didn't want to be giving your feet pics out for free, and that I was about to be like, that's not why I was, and then I just decided to let it go.
You got to delete your comment.
you just put that sunglasses emoji and little newspaper. Yeah, you're a dirty little foot freak.
Anyway,
Andy.
I DM'd that lady. I got a picture of those feet.
Did you pay?
Nice.
Did you Venmo her?
Only Feets fans.
Can I tell you another thing on the internet I gotta do this week?
Yeah, tell us your weird fucking foot story.
A lady messaged me on the internet, sweet lady, fan of mine, she goes, would you make a video and post it on your Instagram saying happy birthday to my daughter? I'll give you $200. So of course,
selling ads.
Of course I'll do that. I'll definitely do that, right?
You post it on your Instagram?
No doubt about it. Yeah, I'll post it on my Instagram.
Main feed or in the story?
She didn't specify, I think, story, but I'll put it on the main feed and leave it for a month, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, she asked me, and I'll do it. Tell me a little bit about your daughter. How old is she turning? What does she like? What's her name? She tells me her name. She tells me she's got a nickname Spider-Man, used the nickname Spider-Man, and she is 5.
Okay, big fan.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I'm more concerned that a 5-year-old has an Instagram. Why is she on
Yeah,
Instagram
I
so
think
young?
maybe she's just
Well, I think
looking at
that's
her
why he has to post it
mom's.
on his. This kid
Ah.
doesn't have Instagram.
Yeah. I'm still happy to do it. It's a little like, I don't know that a 5. I think you could spend your $200 better. I'm gonna take it. I want to do
Yeah.
it.
I don't know. You're 5. You only know like 5 things, and
Yeah.
those are your favorite things. If you're one of the 5, that's great. That's huge for you.
That'd be fun if you're a 5-year-old. You get take money from them for the rest of their life.
Hey, also, you're not struggling to sell tickets on the road. You're just your audience can't get in.
We open it up to kindergartners will really be crushing it on the road.
Just do some earlier show times. I think, yeah, you're really gonna be doing better, buddy.
And this is the thing I put on my phone was I had a fun dinner with some people last week, and unrelated to this, I had put this just a dumb question in my phone because I was at a dinner and someone was like, let me get it, which is great, polite, nice thing. I don't generally love it because I feel like it affects how I order. So if
Yeah.
you're out to dinner and someone's picking up the tab, and it is situational too, so you can have caveats here. Are you going to order what you were going to order no matter what? Are you going to order less than normal because someone's paying? Or are you going to order more than normal because someone's paying?
I'm gonna order less and not the most. A step down from probably.
I used to be like Alex. You know who changed me was our podcast guest last week, Jason Hellerman.
I don't know that that's the best influence for stuff like this.
But he was like, listen, I've been out to eat with a lot of people that have a lot more money than me, and I get whatever I want when they say they're paying.
Well, that's the difference. Is like if you're out to dinner with someone, Jason's out to dinner with someone that's on a $30 million deal or whatever like that. Like that's different than you're out with your regular friends.
Sure.
You're all kind of near the same.
Uh-huh.
I also, even in the
regular
$30
folk
million scenario, I don't think that I have it in me to be like, give me like the most expensive thing.
Here's the one time I'll do it is if I'm out and it's on a corporation.
Sure, if
I'll
it's like
feel
someone's
nothing.
got like I got the corporate, I got the expense
I got the
account.
company card. This one's on Safe Go.
Yeah.
Or an agent when they do it, it's the business. Even those scenarios, I'm saying that those are the times where I'm like, I'll still order what I would like. I won't step it down. Generally, if someone else is doing it, I step it down. I panic order, don't get what I want.
What about this? I kind of match what I order from the same section of the menu they order from. If it's a place that got sandwiches much cheaper and the other person gets a sandwich instead of like a steak, then we get a sandwich. But if
that's a good one. I've done that too.
If they get, they get the dry aged bone-in T-bone, I'm getting that.
Yeah. That's a good move. So you definitely want them to go first. If someone's buying, they go first. If they're opening it up and they're going, let's get a bottle of wine, and then I'm going to get this T-bone that's been aged in the dryness.
I also feel like you do.
Do
you? I don't know. Do you want to know on the front end, based on what we're talking about, how it affects how you order? Do you want to know at the beginning, or do you not want to know?
I like I'll pick up a tab. I enjoy a tab pickup. I just try to do it at the end, sneak it in, because that way everyone orders. If you have I'm not keeping the company of assholes, but if you have an asshole that's the type of person that's like, hey, I'm buying, and they're like, I'm gonna get that gold crusted bar. They don't get to do that. They order what they were normally gonna order,
right?
And then the other people that would order less, they still get with like. I think it's a happier scenario just to spring it at the end.
At the end,
I'll peel off, just dump the credit card with the server. So we don't have the thing at the end.
I've seen that move a time or two.
I love that move. And then it gets to the end, and you're like, everything?
It's all been paid for.
How do you feel about this is a real hot button topic. How do you feel about somebody offers to buy the dinner and then someone else, well, let me cover the tip?
Don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm also against it. It's either like you're buying it or you're not.
What about this move?
I say this. I go, Phil, whatever you're going to leave it. I'm also tipping over here, though.
What about this is a big LA problem, is where you go out to dinner with this is like a big group. It's like, there's like 8 of us. And
who? Who?
It's
Say
eight.
the 8. Am
It's
I included?
It's 8 friends. Everybody can know each other. It doesn't matter. Everyone
I
can
don't-
know each other. It doesn't have to be everyone. knows
8
each-
people? Who am I going to do? 8 people. That's a lot.
Huh? You know 8 people.
That's too much.
What I'm saying, it's a group of people, right? And then they go,
Who's invited people?
huh?
Whose
You know-
dinner is it?
You're getting hung up on the details here that really derailing this thing before it could even take off here.
I don't even know why we're there now.
I can't even get gas in the car. We haven't even left the driveway.
All right, but I mean,
Bill comes. Bill comes.
Bill's there.
Bill has come.
Who else is there?
Bill, Steve, Kevin, Tony, Frank. Bill comes. Everyone goes, all right, well, let's just split it 8 ways. But you didn't get the same amount of stuff that everyone else got. You didn't get a you didn't get a drink. You got a salad and and they got that. How do you do the apps? How do we feel
I'm
about this?
even split. I hate that,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the reason I hate it is I believe the system is not set up properly to split checks like that sometimes. Like they can't do it. I haven't waited tables in a while,
Mm-hmm.
but it shouldn't be that big of a pain in the ass to just go you're one. Like
Yeah.
I position you, I take your order, I go it's 1 2 3. So I feel like it's either the way someone's ringing it in or it's the system they're using. But if you go, can we split it? My check, they go no, we'll do it 2 ways and that's it or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you do it evenly,
Mm-hmm.
that's something they can easily do. And I think you got to go with that. Who cares how much you ordered?
No, I think it's a huge
What was your
problem.
plan
Yeah,
when
I'm
you're
with
going?
Tommy on this one.
Here's the thing I think.
Unbelievable.
What was
I'm
your
with Tommy
plan
on
when
this one
you
'cause it's
left
more
the house
annoying
with
to-
8 people?
I have never, until I moved to California, this is not a national issue of not being able to do separate checks. For some reason in Los Angeles, California, heads are falling off, children are running around, there's a rooster, and no one can do separate checks. This whole system is just, the technology hasn't reached California somehow. Every other restaurant in the country, they
No
go, do you
way.
want one check or separate checks? And then you do it separate.
No,
I
it's
never
not every.
experienced until I got to California.
It's not. It's here's
And
the
I
thing.
don't understand why they can't do
Maybe you're just like having adult meals with adult people at adult restaurants
it.
now.
No, absolutely not. I didn't move to California until I was well into my 30s.
This is not just California.
It's a California problem.
It's also if something went wrong, like if you say it up front and they go, yeah, we can do that, but you now know it's the thing. So when you go, you do that. You don't try to
We
go
should be
like
marching
I just had.
in the streets. It shouldn't have. Why are we
But
just
do you put your
accepting that
card
it's
in?
the thing? It's a fucking ridiculous thing.
Do you make it a thing?
Huh?
It's the cost of eating with fucking 7 people.
No,
Well, this
it
goes
should
back
not
to
be.
you know you're splitting it going in. You get whatever you want, and then you split it even just for the ease of everybody drops it. Do even split.
Yeah, sometimes it works out where it's like, oh, we all got reason. If it's like $5 to $10 off, that's okay. But like,
Mhm.
there's other times where it's like, this is crazy. I mean, I'm glad I got to spend time
What
with
are
everybody.
you ordering?
Huh? A regular meal.
Just the kids? You ordering chicken tenders?
yeah.
How is yours so far? You're all at the same fucking
A
restaurant.
lot of times it comes down to alcohol. I'm not a big drinker. I won't have
Mm,
anything to
mhm.
drink, and alcohol is generally the most expensive part
Yeah.
of the meal. And now my meal is just exponentially more
You just got to drink.
because I had a water.
Yeah, start drinking.
Okay. See, also, it's a California problem. It's
When I was in
ridiculous.
Winnipeg, you go to a place with 15 people, and you're like, "What? They'll go, how do you want the bills? Do you want me to separate?" They say, "Do you want me to? You just want separate?"
Yeah.
And they just click it. But it's the thing that they bring to your table. It's easy breezy. You pay for your shit.
The technology
move to Winnipeg.
exists. I'd love to go to Winnipeg. I'd love for just it's easy. It's easy.
I don't. Here's
breezy,
the thing I
beautiful.
don't love. They bring the. Have you been where they bring the machine to your table, the
Mhm.
handheld,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then you scan your credit card?
Yeah.
That's
I don't-
everywhere in Canada.
They don't tip. They don't. I don't know that they see the tip.
Oh, because they're looking away.
They look away and I go, well,
Look.
I don't need like a verbal or nod,
Mm-hmm.
but I would like you to know,
You get one of these.
like, because I don't like at the end of the day, you guys just you're counting. You're like,
Mhm.
every table you waited on
We're all the
is
same.
evenly loved.
Mhm.
I would like to be more loved.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of these places splitting the tips equally between the servers. I think.
Yeah,
No?
a lot of pool and tip. A lot
Just
of pool
pool-
and
A lot of
tips
pulling
out
tips
there.
these days.
So
I mean,
then, yeah,
Pooling bills, pooling tips. Everything's fucking pooled in this town.
I tried a little real life bit the other day on the tip subject.
Here we go.
Real life bit. I tried it out at Jenny's. You know how they're asking for tips everywhere
Jenny's
these days?
is an ice cream shop
Jenny's
in
is
Los
an
Angeles.
ice cream place. I
Started
went
in
there.
Columbus,
I got
Ohio.
The
Started in
sweet
Columbus,
potato
Ohio.
marshmallow ice cream.
Get the fuck out of here.
I got
Leave
sweet
the
potato
backyard.
marshmallow ice cream. It was
what?
delicious. It's a hot fall flavor.
Okay.
We could walk to one.
Should we go now?
They're open.
Anyway, so
Nope,
they
they may
do the
just closed.
thing. They do the thing that they do at so many places now. They're like, okay, I'm going to turn the screen around. It's going to ask you a question. And when he said that to me, I said, as long as it's not about the tip, it's always a tip. Didn't get a laugh.
No?
I had no laugh. Yeah. No
I
laugh.
think tipping is a touchy subject to do bits about.
Yeah, I think so too.
I did a bit tip.
You getting points when you go there? I just started scanning
Oh no!
I just got the app, started scanning.
Really?
I'm almost
Wow.
at a free pint.
Almost at a free pint.
Yeah,
I did a tip bit once at a
pints are
restaurant.
fucking expensive.
Did get a laugh where it was a friend was like, "I'll get the tip,"
Mhm.
because he had cash. So he's like, "Yeah, I'll use all my cash for the tip." So I had a credit card, and in the credit card line, I wrote, "He's tipping. I swear I'm a good guy." And then gave it to her, and I watched her open it up, read it, laughed, and then
Oh, that's funny.
Hey.
You got a little giggle.
got a little giggle.
Is there a place where you won't tip?
No,
I found the first place where I won't tip.
did we talk about this?
Maybe we
already?
already did.
Where's your place?
I'll reveal it again. We were at a game. It was when we were at the game, and it was
Oh,
one of
you
those
did talk
places
about this on here.
where you walk in the cooler and you get the drink yourself, and then you take it to the
You get a
checkout.
ring.
Yeah, don't
What
tip
am I
there.
tipping them for? I did
Don't
everything.
tip there.
If they're pooling, you're tipping everybody.
At the thing where Andy's doing all the work, what is he tipping for?
Stock in the cooler.
Stock in the cooler? He's not even getting an hourly wage here. I mean, what are we doing? What have we been on strike for? You know what I'm saying? What are we out here in the streets?
I fall for it every time the screen turns around and has tip on it. I'm like, I guess I'm tipping.
It's such a widespread issue that I have a lot of places. They're like, you don't have, like they're saying on the front end, they're like, you can skip.
We
that.
had this exact conversation on this podcast.
Yeah, we talked about it,
Huh?
but
The
it's
screens.
an
We're in
important
repeats.
conversation.
Yeah, in real life though.
Well, then let's skip to something we haven't talked about, guys, and that was that I was a part of national news this weekend.
Oh,
National news.
Small dick convention.
No,
Minneapolis,
wasn't
Minnesota.
what it was. You misread.
Alex went to go run the Minneapolis Marathon, which is the same distance as a regular marathon.
Mini. It's not mini.
It's not smaller.
Was
It's
it
the same distance.
It is Twin Cities Marathon. You're supposed to run from Minneapolis to St. Paul, Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 26.2 miles separating the two cities. Perfect distance. You got to go around some lakes to make it happen. But
10,000 of them. What I heard.
10,000 lakes. I said on the run, I was like, I heard there's 1,000 of them. They're like, it's 10,000. I was like, well, I feel like a piece of shit. So I go there. I've been training for months to do this thing. And me, some comedian friends of mine, some friends of a comedian friend of mine, we all go to Minneapolis, run this marathon. For a couple weeks out, they've been sending emails. I think I told you guys about it. They're like, hey, it's going to be hot. We're running this race under red flag conditions, okay?
That means big undertow.
Big undertow. Watch out for stingrays. So like 2 weeks out, they're sending these emails. They're sending a lot of emails. That's like, hey, just updating you. It's going to be hot.
Did you think about not going?
Well, here's
when you
the
got
thing.
all the emails telling you to not go.
They included in the email, they go, it's a very slim chance that we will cancel this race.
Because they want your money.
They want your money. But I am also a guy who lives in Los Angeles, California. The whole time I'm getting these emails, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with this. I have done multiple runs where it's been 98 degrees. Like, it will be bad, but okay. And so we get there the night before. They go at like 9:30 p.m. They go, hey, race is still on, red flag conditions. We'll send you another email at 5 a.m. just to confirm, okay?
What time is it supposed to start?
Supposed to start at 8 a.m. on the dot. At 5:22 a.m., I've been up for 22 minutes at this point. I get an email on my phone that says the race has been canceled. I'm the first person awake in this Airbnb. I'm the only one that knows. And I'm just slowly hearing people wake up and grumble, and we all get
sound of relief.
Well, no, we're all mad. Everyone's mad. I get on Twitter. I'm like, I want to see if everyone's tweeting about how they're upset. One guy was like, posted a selfie of himself just at the bus stop. He's like, I just got the email. He's got his bib on, his shorts. He's
Oh my
just like,
God.
I'm on the bus right. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
My big question when I heard about this is, did they give everyone their money back?
Well, so in the email, they said,
if you'd have canceled yesterday.
they go, we're going to email you on Thursday about a possible credit. And
A
so-
credit.
a credit. So everyone was pretty fired up and still is fired up about that because we haven't gotten the email about that yet.
Because these marathons make money. It's a business. And if they cancel the one thing they do all year, they made no money.
Yeah. They waited till everyone went to the convention. The convention, you go, you pick up your bibs, but also there are multiple vendors selling you things, trying to get more of your money. Like they went through all of the things where they're like, we'll get your money, and then canceled it 2.5 hours before the race was supposed to start. And so everyone was mad. The big thing people were upset about was like that nothing changed between that 9 p.m. email and the 5 a.m. in terms of temperature. Nothing. You could have canceled it then. You canceled it. You could have
Did
canceled
anybody
it 2 weeks
think
ago.
about the fact that nothing changed is the reason they canceled it? That they were hoping for it to change.
No, because
be cooler.
They said we're running it under these conditions.
I think a lawyer stepped in and was like, if you do this, we're liable if people die.
Well, so I just sitting in bed, just stewing about this. I'm like, maybe there is a temperature where they have to cancel. So I Google, what temperature do you have to cancel a marathon? And there is no set temperature across the board. You can't do it. But in this Google search, I find an article from 2010 on runnersworld.com, and it's about a study that the former chairman of the Twin Cities Minneapolis Marathon wrote about. In 2007, they ran a race where the starting temperature of the race was 70 degrees. And during that race, the temperature got up to such high degree that they overwhelmed all of the hospitals, all of the 4 major hospitals in Minneapolis, because people couldn't deal with the heat. And so that kind of illuminated, like, they're running everything through that prism of, like, not that long ago, we tried to run a race in the heat and it was way too hot. So I think ultimately they did make the right decision in canceling it, but everyone is upset about the way in which it was handled. But so we all still flew there. And we decided that we were just going to run. Like, we had all of our shit. We wanted to run. That we were going to go. I knew that I could run a half marathon distance with no water. Because at first, my first thought was like, well, let's just run the whole thing. But then immediately I was like, well, we're not going to be able to get water. And so I was like, well, I can do a half, no water. It'll suck, but I can do it. Let's just go run a half. So we take the train to the starting point and we just start running what we think is going to be half of the marathon. And then as we're going, people are coming out of their houses and they're
just for your group?
For everyone. We weren't the only people that were like, fuck it, we're going to do it ourselves.
Oh, they didn't tell the fans.
No, everyone knew, but like, so there was no
That's
aid
the thing
stations.
about that. I immediately thought when you're saying this guy's complaining, everybody's yelling, it's like, just fucking run.
So
like, stop your whining. If you want to run, just go run.
Well, so but
you
the
don't
problem
need
is
this nerdy organization.
You need
They got the
you
water
need
stops,
water,
and snacks they hand you along the way.
especially when it's hot. You need
And
aid.
bathrooms.
Bathrooms were still there, but so we get going, and then like we're downtown. We're like a mile in. There's like one lady that seems like maybe she's waiting for the bus, and she's cheering. And then we get a little bit further. There's a lady with a sign. Then we start getting into the neighborhoods, and there's people on their porches, and they're all cheering and ringing cowbells. Then we get 5 miles in, and there's a family that's come to the curb, and they have 2 little kids, and the little kids are standing there with little disposable cups of water.
Oh, that'd be
That's
fun. My
cute.
kids have done that.
That's
And
cute.
so and so we took the water. We was like, oh, that's amazing. And we kept going, and then that started happening more and more, where people had brought out like bottles of water, and they're giving like. The kind of community like rose up around the race and was like filling in and like cheering. It was like really beautiful and moving in a way. And so we get about halfway, and comedian Matt Stan and I are like, we're feeling pretty good. There's like a lot of water. If we just run back the way that we came, we know that there are people with water. I think we can do the full distance. And so we decide that the 2 of us, we're going to try and do the full thing. And so we turn around, and then the mistake we made was that By that point, as we're running, like we're getting to places where there were people, they're no longer there.
Mhm.
Everyone had packed it in and gone home. And so
Because you guys are so slow.
we were so slow.
You guys ever think about running from lake to lake? Plenty of water.
Can I tell you, I got thirsty enough that I did think about getting some water. But luckily, there was one.
I don't think you guys should get a refund because you ran.
Well,
I think you're disqualified from refunds. I'm gonna
You
email.
still get all the swag?
I'm sending an email with we got the shirt, but we didn't get the medal, which is who gives a shit.
How much is a marathon?
This marathon was $150, I believe, to run. And it goes up the closer you get to the deadline. There were, for all you numbers folks out there, you go in, you pick up your bib. There were about 35,000 bibs available to be picked up. And that includes a
Wow.
5K, a 10K, relays, and the marathon. The news said that there were 20,000 people running the marathon itself. So this was a big marathon.
We're talking $5.2 million.
Yeah.
At
So
35,000.
you say I don't deserve
times.
my money back. I am going to try and get it back. I think they should give everyone who came from out of town their money back. If you live in Minneapolis and they give you a credit to do it next year, that's great. You live there, you can do it. But I can't. If they would have canceled it 2 weeks ahead of time, I could have maybe gotten flight credits. We could have maybe got a partial refund on our Airbnb. But like the way they did it, there was no shot for us to recoup anything. But I had a really great time seeing my friends, and the experience itself was very, very cool. And I'm glad that I got to run it. But here's a aside. We got a segment called "What Would You Do?"
I don't think we have that segment yet.
We got a "What Would You Do?" What would you do?
I don't know that people like it.
If your
This
son
is
was
our
at home.
most famous segment.
Climb.
What would you
Not
do?
sure. Can I
Yeah.
have that drink that I brought out that you
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
open?
Here's a
I'm
"What would you
sorry.
do?"
Burn it through.
I brought one. I didn't.
So me and
Oh no, I wasn't meaning it like that. I was meaning I just noticed that it wasn't open. And I'm thirsty.
me and 6 dudes in an Airbnb. All right, got a few comedians in there, a few friends of comedians. Post race, I'm famished. Okay, decide what I'm gonna get is Jet's Pizza. I love Jet's Pizza. They don't have it out here. Haven't had it in years. Okay, see that? I'm gonna get Jet's Pizza for myself to eat for my post marathon meal. A couple of the people get back. They were somewhere else. Okay, this person who will remain nameless. You don't know him. He's a friend of a friend. I like this guy. This is a good guy. I like.
He doesn't
this
have
guy.
a name.
I'm not gonna say his name. You don't know.
What do
him.
you do? Get a drink and try to split it 50-50?
Shut the fuck up, Andy. Now I sit down. He comes in. We're chatting.
Yeah. So far, just the fact that you're going out to eat with this guy, from what you've said, I'm on his
Not
side.
going out to eat. Not going out to eat. Okay, I'm ordering this pizza to be delivered on my phone. Okay.
All right, it's $3.50 a slice.
He goes-
Everybody, if you eat, it's $3.50 a slice.
He goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm getting a pizza." He goes, "Oh, I could eat some pizza." And I go, "All right, let me get a bigger pizza then." And so I order a bigger pizza.
Is this actually going to be what this
I
is?
go, "Do you like pepperoni?" He goes, "I'm vegetarian, so no." And I go, "Well, let me see if they can do half cheese, half pepperoni." And so I do that, and then I order the pizza. Postmates, fees, taxes. Pizza comes. He eats 2 pieces of it, and then at the end just goes, "Hey, man, thanks for getting the pizza." And that was it.
Yeah.
What do you do there?
What? Nothing. You bought a pizza.
That I would have bought a less expensive pizza for just myself, but someone said they wanted some more pizza. So I order a bigger pizza. I feel like it's unspoken there. You chip in on that pizza.
You said I'm ordering pizza, and he goes, "I'll have some too."
And I go, "Let me get a bigger pizza." So I've clearly changed
He
my
did
order.
let you get a bigger pizza.
No, it's unspoken there.
You made that decision.
Because I was getting a pizza for myself. He goes, "I could get some pizza." I go, "Okay, I'll get more pizza so that you can have some of it."
I don't
And
know
do
why.
that. And then he goes, "Thanks for getting the pizza."
Did you say you were welcome? Because you just bought a pizza.
Yeah,
You volunteered
that's
for it?
what I did say. "You're
Yeah.
welcome," and I paid for the whole pizza. But I feel like
You said I'm getting a pizza, and then he said I'd like to have some pizza, and you go, "I'll get a bigger one."
No. If I go, "Hey guys, I'm getting a pizza. Does anybody want some?" I'm getting the pizza. I'm paying for it. But if you go, "What are you doing?" That in this scenario, I believe he should have chipped in for this pizza.
No, I think that's just like the expensive wine, which may not have been on this episode. You got to be like, yeah, I'll split one with you. You gotta up front say split, or like here's how much it is. Like
No.
you can't be like, you know what? I'm Mr. Moneybags. I'm gonna get a bigger one.
I think Alex might have to make an apology video.
I'm not making an apology for there's no way I'm in the wrong on this. I have a cinnamon toast
Wow.
level of heels digging in
You're
on this.
100% wrong.
Not in this specific scenario. When I am ordering a pizza just for me after the race,
What are
and
you,
he goes,
Kevin McAllister?
Yeah, he made you get the cheese, so I see your point.
yeah, he changed the whole order. I
Also,
would
I
have.
don't respect a vegetarian that eats cheese pizza. If
Couldn't
you're
believe it.
vegetarian, you better order some vegetables on that pizza.
Yeah, order. Yeah, get something else.
Well, he
Cheese
probably
pizza
would have,
is
but
a
Alex wouldn't pay
child's
for it.
pizza.
Yeah, I effectively got less pizza than I would have gotten also because he made me change the thing. And then didn't eat all of it. Eat all of the fucking pizza I bought for you.
No, it's not. He didn't pay for it. He's not gonna eat it all.
Yeah,
is
you guys are all marathoners. Work
He didn't
through
run
it.
the whole thing. He did not complete the distance either.
Did you complete it?
I completed it. Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't.
No, myself and Matt Stanton completed the 26.2
Did you not get from the
miles.
story that he
No,
didn't finish?
I got that he finished because he talked about how thirsty he was.
I thought he talked to me. He said you said was, were, could have, fucked up. Here's where we fucked up. You said fucked up.
Yeah, we fucked up because we thought that there was going to be water
Yeah,
on our way back. There was none, so we just
I totally thought you gave up.
No, I finished it. I have the whole thing done. I completed. I ran a
and
marathon.
you celebrated by buying a friend a pizza.
Guess how many steps I got in that day? Take a stab at it. This is walking to and from the thing, also walking to get food and coffee, and running a marathon in between.
600-700.
Wait,
Take a
$1. So what are we thinking here?
Take a stab. Take a guess. Just pick could be any number. You know.
No, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do a little math.
Okay. Think about
So
it.
2 is 4.
Measure it against your own steps.
1 step plus
1
2.
mile is 5,280 feet. It's about 2 steps for every 3 feet.
Well, if you guys
We
want
got
to do all this math,
26.2
feel
times
free.
5,280.
You don't know how far
I
the
can't
coffee
do that in
shop
my
was.
head.
Yeah, it's too much. Numbers are getting too big. At this point. Feel free to say
75,000.
70,000.
Pretty good guess.
Pretty good guess. 70,000 steps.
Pretty good. I thought you did more.
Pretty good. Well, I don't know what else I got to do.
And how many slices of pizza did you eat?
I had 3 slices of pizza, but I also had 1 Taco Bell bean burrito, 2 donuts, and some English muffins with peanut butter on it. And then another thing that I'm forgetting. Maybe a 3rd donut.
Dude, I had a run of eating some shit. Kids' birthday parties, then this and that, and then at one point, it was at the kids' birthday party. They wanted pizza. We get a pizza. I get from Prime Pizza here in Los Angeles. It's amazing. It's so good. I go, I'm taking these fucking lactates. I'm just eating this pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a separate pizza. I paid for everybody's, by the way. Didn't complain once. And you got the deep dish.
Yeah, if you're saying I'm buying the pizza, that's great. Good for you.
Nobody even asked. I just did it.
Oh, yeah, great. That's great.
And then
It's not the same situation.
I take the lactates to eat that pizza. I take the lactates the next day. I'm eating leftover pizza. I go a couple days. I'm eating pizza. I take I'm just kind of off the rails of my normal norm.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of that, I do a push-up contest. And then also Everett had an earache one night, and I slept with her, and I slept awkwardly. So I think combination of these, one thing's alone, one whatever. I had this chest pain on the right side of my chest here.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a chest pain. And then I take a deep breath, and it's pressure. It's like a pain. I kind of move. And I get on the Google, and I'm still on the tail end of this. Like, this isn't just a memory.
Mm-hmm.
I went down the Google rabbit hole enough that I was positive I had something terminal going on, because I was like, oh, it started, now it's bigger, it's probably cancerous tumor.
Sure.
Or it's something there's like a sac, your lung's going to collapse. I
Mhm.
thought I was going to die. And I had just convinced myself, well, I'm not going to go to the doctor, because if I felt it a little and I feel it this much, then it's rapid. There's no stopping it.
Yeah. You're dead.
So I was just
You're already
like,
dead.
I'm dying.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had a full 36 hours with this thing, and then trying to find a way to we're like, oh, maybe it's better. Just wasn't happening. Tell my wife she's not affected by it.
Sure.
I tell her I think I'm dying. She
That's
says
a
you're
marathon
not.
of feeling bad.
She's looking at caskets.
Yeah,
She's going over that
cremate me.
life insurance that you
You
recently
guys
purchased.
need to make sure I'm cremated, and then do nothing with them. Just throw them in the trash.
Well, agree to take me into the woods and leave me in the dark.
But it's better now. So I'm bringing that up. To A, I don't think I'm dying anymore.
Miraculous recovery.
B, have you ever gone down I know Alex has down the hole enough where you're like pretty convinced that
Every
it
day.
is. Yeah, every
Most
day.
days, yeah. Most days, I got something. Anytime I go to the doctor, I'm convinced that they're going to tell me, "Hey,
Oh yeah.
today's the day. You got it, bud. You know how you thought you did? You were right. You definitely do."
I played out the whole thing where I was like, I don't want to go into a doctor and then they go, you're dying, and then we're gonna try all this stuff to keep you from dying, and then I gotta tell my kids that I'm sick, and I'm like, I think it's just better to just let it happen. So I was like, I'm just gonna lean into it,
Just
let
be
it
fine.
happen.
My favorite doctor I've gone to so far was a gastroenterologist, where I go in there. I've been having some stomach issues. Go in there, I tell him everything that's wrong. And I don't know if he can just like read that I'm an anxious person or if this is just his bedside manner. But I'm talking to him, and he brings like a laptop in, and he's like typing notes and shit, or maybe, chatting with his friends. I don't know what the fuck he's doing over there. But at one point I'm like, tell me, he's like, everything you're saying I'm not really concerned about unless you're saying this. And he says a thing, I'm like, I don't have that, this. And then he's like, okay, well, let me just show you this. And he had typed in my symptoms, everything that I had said to him, into Google. And he was like, this is the first result. I just clicked on the first result. You see how none of the things on here say the word cancer? He's like, you don't have cancer.
Wait, he Googled it?
Just to show me, like, he's like, I'm a doctor, but like even the internet is saying you're okay. Because like the internet, everything you type into the internet, it's like you got
I don't
cancer.
know that I love this guy.
I loved it. I was like, he put me so deep because he was
Googled
telling me
it.
No, he was like, he told me as a doctor, he's like, you're fine. And then he was like, just to show you, you're fine. And
but a lot of the
favorite
times the
doctor so far.
doctor's like, you're fine. And then you go to Google and you're like, agree to
Well,
disagree.
I thought you were going to say a lot of times these doctors are wrong. I think about that. I don't think
my
about that.
doctor, who has I would say pretty bad bedside manner,
Yep.
has a sign in her little rooms that says, my PhD is better than your Google is better than your Google search, or something like that. Like, she doesn't deal with that shit. Like, I've brought up before.
Yeah.
I get into like, I looked up and she goes, don't do that. And I go, but she's like, I don't want to hear what it said. Like,
Yeah.
she's not the sweetest woman I've ever met in my life, but she seems like she knows her shit. She yelled at me one time because I came in. I had my blood stuff done. She runs all my blood work and whatnot. And then I go, like 3 months later, I'm like, man, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I feel something's weird. Maybe I'll get this blood work again. I go in and she goes, we just did this. I didn't expect any pushback.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, but I was just like, wondering if maybe we could do it again. And she's like, I don't know, like, you can't just keep doing this. And I'm like, well, I don't plan on doing that. But
You're gonna run out of blood.
You only got so much blood. I read somewhere, I think I've said it on this podcast before, that good doctors with bad bedside manner are sued for malpractice at a higher rate than bad doctors with good bedside manner, because people ultimately just want to feel like they're being taken cared for, so they will forgive something that they otherwise wouldn't. Where it's like, if you're just like what you're describing, you're like, well, you make a mistake, you're fucking going down.
I think I've heard that too. It has to be true, right?
I also think the doctors need to move past. Like, I get it, where you're like, I'm a doctor, I went to school, I know more than you and your Google search. But also, it needs to be accepted that that's just how people live their lives now. It's like, before I came here, I Googled, and that's part of why I'm here. So I'm not saying that Google knows and you don't, but like, let me just tell you how I got here.
I disagree with you. I think you go in and you go, here's the symptoms, and they run the thing and they do the doctoring. I like that they don't. I like that she has the sign. I like that she doesn't want to hear it.
No, I think you got to just accept, like, I'm not saying I got it wrong. I'm just like saying, hey, this is what I've been walking around with, and I'm just telling you, please now tell me that I'm wrong, but don't be like,
doctors aren't therapists. They can't give a shit about how you feel in your brain. unless they're a brain feeling
No, they
doctor.
got to
Who
treat
the
the
fuck?
whole body, though. They got to treat the whole body,
Yeah.
which includes
Yeah.
your mood and your.
Who is this anti-patient guy that just showed up?
I'm pro patient.
You're taking an anti-patient stance. You're
I'm
taking a
pro
pro-doctor.
doctor that just knows their shit.
I'm saying the doctor can know the shit, but I'm saying give it a little bit of.
Yeah, you're not a baby though. Like we don't gotta
I'm
like
not saying.
walk around
I'm
being
not
like,
saying.
"Oh, you read a book."
Burp me on your knee, wipe my butt with a
That's
little
what it sounds like.
soft tissue. I'm just saying, be kind. Please rewind. Don't be
Now,
a
can
freak
you
about it.
imagine like the amount they have to deal with it every day?
No, you're
The bullshit.
You think
I'm
they'd get
like,
good at it?
no, I want to be done
you're
with
right.
it.
Your nasty doctor seems great. Please give me
She's-
her information.
I'm still alive.
It seems like a joy to go to her.
You didn't want to go see her.
Yeah,
That's what you want in a doctor.
you're talking out of both sides of your mouth right now. I cannot keep up with what's happening.
I'm 100% on. She's my doctor.
Yeah,
She
but
doesn't have great bedside manner, but I don't. That's not what I'm there for. I'm not there to make a buddy.
No, you need a buddy. You need a pal.
No.
You need a buddy. You need a pal. Andy, tell us about your doctor.
I don't like him.
He's a bad guy.
I don't want to see him anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I already don't want to go to the doctor, and interacting with him makes me want to go there even less.
Yeah, I agree.
I gotta go for the yearly thing soon. It's like because of her. I'm like I gotta lose weight before I go in there. I can't be walking in like this.
That's why you gotta get. I got a hot dermatologist. Smoking hot, red hot,
Good skin.
great skin, flawless. Some would say.
Really?
And when I go in to get my mole exam, I strip bare. I'm just fully exposed.
Naked?
They can look at my whole body. I keep my underwear on, but they let her look at my whole body with like a little flashlight and a microscope. I mean, she's really getting in there. And it is motivating to be like, I should try and be in the best shape possible for this exam. There's also an assistant in there. It's a whole.
We've talked about this before. You go in like your doctor's gonna. As soon as you leave, she's like, "I gotta lock the door and rub one out because that last patient was so hot."
I want her telling other people. I want her to be like, hold my next appointment. I need to call some of my friends and tell.
I remember when I was a kid,
hot.
my mom was very concerned with kidnappings, and I don't know if she saw a thing or whatever, but it was like she at some point the topic of like birthmarks, any kind of like when a kid goes missing, you need to be able to go black hair, blue eyes, has a scar in the shape of a Y on his calf. Like you gotta have something like that. And my sister had a thing, and then I had like a scar on my elbow, but my mom is just like asking for like any of these other things. Like I don't fully remember everything. I think it was I was asked. I don't know if she was looking, but it was definitely like, what do you have when you get taken?
What's weird about
What's
you?
identifiable about you? And I remember as a kid knowing that I had a mole on my nutsack, and I was like, I don't think that that's what she's asking for. But I was concerned. She'd like worked it up where I was like, I'm worried I'm gonna get fucking kidnapped, and this mole on my nutsack.
The only thing they could say.
No one's gonna know they're looking for the moley nutsack kid. So I got like a freckle right in the middle of my nutsack, which seems odd. Like a
seam.
It's a beauty mark,
On
is
the
what.
seam?
It's a beauty mark. So
And-
it's right there
And
in
if
the.
you sign up for the Patreon, we'll throw a photo of it.
Isn't it a beauty mark if it's on the ugliest part of your body?
No, it makes it beautiful. Cindy Crawford's wasn't a beauty mark because it was on the wrong side of her face.
Is that right?
That's in a documentary.
The inside?
Yeah. What are you talking
No,
about?
it's the. She said when she was growing up, her sisters said a beauty mark is on the right side of your face, and when it's on the left side of your face, it's an ugly mark. And when she first started modeling, they would like airbrush it out, and then finally she did a cover of Vogue, and they left it on, and it became all the thing. And that is what I learned in this documentary. I walked into the bedroom when it was on.
About Cindy Crawford.
It's about supermodels.
Somebody asked me.
It's actually good.
2 years.
Was that the Sports Illustrated swimsuit video?
No, it's a supermodel doc on Netflix.
Someone asked me 2 or 3 years ago. They were like, "I need what's like a supermodel?" And I said Cindy Crawford, and they were like, "That can't be the most current." Like if someone says supermodel to you, what's your word
I don't know that we
association?
got models like they used to have models. I think right now I would say Giselle Bündchen.
I don't think. I think maybe she's.
I think
on
she's
the
the most
on the
famous
tail end.
supermodel though, right
No, I
now.
think it's probably that Jenner kid or the Hadid kid. Kate Upton would
I
probably be
was
up there.
on further reflection after they rejected my Cindy Crawford. I said probably Kate Upton was my second.
Well, I think that
Guess.
what the Jenner girl, maybe the big one, and then
Bruce?
Kendall,
Kendall. I don't know,
Kylie.
Kendall or Kylie, and then the Bella Hadid.
I think they're more like influencers now than supermodels, though. They're
No,
like a
One of
whole
them is a
brand. It used to be
model.
that a model would just be like they would promote everything. I thought that's what made them a supermodel. And now it's like these people have their own stuff they're selling, not they're the go-to to sell everything.
Yeah, I don't need to wear your clothes. I'm gonna wear my own clothes
Yeah.
and sell those clothes.
well, I think both of the Hadid and Jenner and Kate Upton are like traditional supermodels.
Runway models.
They just have also this other side of it.
You know,
Huh?
Yeah, RuPaul.
You know that song?
Mm-mm.
Andy?
Never heard it. Could you sing a little more?
Work. I don't know the words. I know that work is that a work.
Andy, did you have a topic?
You just don't know that song, huh? Yeah. Well, you guys look like fools before when you know the other song, so I don't know that this one's going to be as powerful because I don't know it either. But work.
I got a topic. When we were picking the name for this podcast, Backyard Hang, one of the names in the mix was "Is This a Bit?" So all week long, I'm always putting notes in my phone, to go to and write bits about. I thought maybe it'd be fun. I think maybe we all do this. Maybe fun to visit the phone and try to see if it's a bit or just a dumb thing that I thought.
I think that's
Gotcha.
fun. All right,
I wrote a thing down in my Uber on the way from
I
the
got a
airport.
thing on.
Tipping?
I was gonna say something else, but I think Joe wanted to do this or did this. Maybe he did it with Mark, but he would always do it like, "Is this something?"
Mm-hmm.
Joe List, comedian friend.
Mhm.
Joe List, what his would be like,
Friend
"Is
of the
this
pod.
something?" And it would be maybe it was a stand-up show. I think it's universal. Alex's phone's out. You're gonna go first.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go first.
Yeah, go
Just
first.
give me a second to find it.
I mean, I'll go.
Headline.
If this is
I'll open the show.
if this
I'll
is
open the show.
just because it's new, unprepared. I mean, I'll do. I've got stuff in here. I mean, I'm still a comedian at heart. I miss it.
I drove by a doctor's office.
Are you doing it now?
Mhm.
Well, this is my thing. I drove, and this was in the Uber. I drove by a doctor's office, and it reminded me because it looked kind of like run down. It was like a office building that was not well cared for. And when I went to get my blood work done, most recently, it was in like a big office building with a bunch of doctor's office, and like the whole thing was under construction. It looked empty, like it looked bad. Where it was just like, have you ever gone to a doctor's office and been like, is this business making money? Where like I've never had to think of, is being a doctor profitable? But I was at the doctor once, and that table, that table that you sit on in the doctor's office, there was a sticker on it, and it was one of those stickers that had inspection, and then it had dates where you could like write in pen the last time it was inspected.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time it was inspected was at 1995, which I didn't even know that you were inspecting these tables. Like, what needs to be inspected of? Is this paper still the loudest paper in the world? It is. Check. Is it still at an angle where you don't know whether to sit down or lay down? It is. Check. But and then just the fact that that they left in view of me that it was last inspected in 1995 seems crazy. That's all I got. I was in an Uber, and then the Uber ended. But is that a bit?
Well, you're in the Uber and you remembered it?
I remembered I saw a doctor's office that was in disrepair, and then it reminded me of this last time I was at a doctor's office. These tables are being inspected. Didn't know they were being inspected.
These tables are expired.
It made me also think of like what else.
Is the table the thing you're sitting on?
There's a table in the doctor's office, yeah, with the tissue paper.
We call that a table?
I call it a table. What do you call it?
I don't think it can be a table.
It's a table. You can
A
put
bed?
stuff on it.
Is it a bed?
Is it a bed? A chair?
Is
I call it a table.
It's like an operating table?
It's like an examination table.
Like an exam table?
Exam
Exam
table.
chair?
Exam but it's not a chair. It's like long. It's like 3 different parts.
It's like a chaise.
It's like a chaise. It's a chaise lounge is what this is.
Did they pull the feet thing out for you?
To help me get up.
You put your feet in those things?
Yeah, I put my
Those are
feet
for
in.
ladies.
Andy, I go to some weird doctors. Okay, I got some stuff going on inside that I need help with. But it doesn't make me think of like what if like you're cost cutting there, like you haven't updated that. Like what else are you trying to save money on in this office? Like are you
Old medicine.
Yeah. How many times have these needles been used? How many are those just actually popsicle sticks inside that little glass jar?
While these tongue depressors have riddles on them.
Mm-hmm. I don't love about this segment so far is that we're just tossing out nuggets and then all of a sudden it feels like you're bombing. It's not like, hey, tell me your best joke. I thought this would be more
funny.
I thought there'd be more of a yes, no. Or
I mean, here can I say the biggest?
You added in like a big stamp that's like not a bit.
Not a bit. Yeah, something other than just like
so far
waiting for the next comedian. Like
I don't know that it's
comedy
I
club.
don't know that it's not a bit as much as the flaw in the way that it was brought up in real time was I was looking at my phone for most of it.
Yeah, so don't go first is the lesson that we just
Well, I
learned
think
there,
next time we'll be prepared.
I think we agreed we were all prepared. And then you know.
Yeah, but I'm not picturing this segment as we perform these ideas. We just say the idea and then say,
well, what
like,
I'm telling you as the guy that did the segment first,
Uh-huh.
it sucks. It's a bummer of a time so far.
I typed this on my phone the other day. Someone called me not fat, and it was the best I'd felt about myself in months.
Yeah.
Where they just in conversation they said something like, "That guy looks like Tommy. Tommy looks like that guy, but not fat." And I think it was meant as a burn, but I was like, I don't think I've ever. Not fat is a compliment. I register that.
You're just walking around thinking fat. That
I felt
goes
it.
not
Not
fat.
fat?
Who
Oh,
said you
damn.
look like a thin Brian Posehn?
I look like I'm made of farts.
I have said that to a mutual friend of ours, Sam Evans, and he is offended by it. But I say that he looks like the Anthony, the chef on Queer Eye, if he took better care of himself, is how I say it. And he says that it hurts his feelings. And I say, that guy's a hot guy. I'm saying you're a hot guy, but just not as in shape as that guy.
Wait, so you're saying Sam is the fat guy? He's the fat version of that guy?
I said exactly how I
see
said
why
it
Sam
to
is
you.
upset about
I
it.
go, that guy looks like you if you took better care of yourself. That guy is in incredible shape. You know, he's posting pictures of himself with a shirt on. It's crazy to think that you would be in as good a shape as that guy. But that's an attractive guy. I'm saying you're also an attractive guy. You took a little bit better
This
care of
is
yourself.
on topic for the podcast. I put this on my phone. I remember when I was around 10 years old and my dad was with his best friend and his wife and she was breastfeeding and my dad's best friend talked him into trying some. And that's when I realized I don't think I have a best friend.
You don't think I could talk you into trying some breast milk?
No, it's not that you could. It's like I don't think I have a friend that would offer up their wife's breast milk.
Not from the tap, but
Not
if
from
it's
the tap,
in a cup. Yeah, I'd
pour you a draft beer.
But I gotta. I mean, she just did it in the kitchen.
Let's say you got a coffee and you're like, I don't want a black.
Yeah.
She just squirted
give
it
you some.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like
she squirted it?
Yeah, squirted it into a. Now
into
that
his
I'm
mouth or a
I'm
cup?
like I'm remembering it. I think I said cup earlier. I think there was like some in a cup, but then some got squirted directly into a mouth.
I don't know that there's any version of you not remembering that. Like, I think if you're a young child,
Are you out of your mind?
Get squirted. I think that's.
Have you heard
that's a core memory for
any
you.
part of my life that you thought anything would stand out to me? Like a woman squirting breast milk into my dad's mouth doesn't register because of the craziness it was surrounded by.
I'm telling you, I feel like that one, if it happened, is standing out. I feel like even in the craziness,
I
heard a lot of the
disagree.
stories.
Like if a lady is breastfeeding and she drinks, then she's got to like get rid of it. That's what I'm picturing. So this lady
Like a
was
white
maybe
Russian.
partying with your dad and his buddy, and then she's like, I got to get rid of this, get the baby drunk. And
No,
then
it was
your
in the
dad
middle of
was
the
like,
day.
Let's take it.
Oh, you know what? I think it was Bubba, his buddy, took it straight from the tap in a squirt.
It sounds like Bubba.
So my dad took it in a cup, I believe, and then she squirted it right into her husband's
I don't
mouth.
think it is a clean stream. He get it all over his glasses or anything.
I don't think he wore glasses. But I do think it came out as a squirt, like a stream. If you squeeze it right, I guess.
I believe that. I do believe that. Well, you could kind of like a hose, put your thumb over it, goes everywhere, goes harder. I bet that would happen. I bet Andy could talk you into trying
Yeah, you
some
gotta
breast.
Well, I
try
think you
some.
guys are misunderstanding. It's not about me being talked into it. It's about his friend was like, "You should try my wife's breast milk."
Yeah, I see Andy doing that.
How is this turning from
What
this
if I
is a
have it
bit
and
to
it's
not a
real
bit to?
good?
It's
Can I
now it's
tell-
a debating on.
What did you miss about the segment not being good? It's not fun to do. It's not a fun time.
Well, I think mine was a bit. Now you're just arguing the semantics of it. I think I got a bit.
Okay, that's great. I'm happy for you. I think you got a bit.
I mean, your bit took place in an Uber. Next thing you know, I'm looking up. There's a doctor's table in it. I didn't understand it. I was lost.
Yeah. Also, by admission, reading from your phone while it happened.
Well, I mean, you got to prepare for anything when you're doing a live stand-up comedy.
You're a bad crowd. I'll get you kicked out, Andy.
They kicked me out for laughing.
I'm on a plane and I'm watching.
Well, this guy's trying real bits now. He didn't even look at his phone.
I'm on a plane. Well, because I knew I was going to bring this
And
up.
it's about an airplane.
If I hear
I'm on
you
a
do
plane.
this joke in this exact same way in a couple weeks, I'm gonna be fucking
Well, it
furious.
depends how well this goes right now. Well, I'm on a plane and I start watching the movie Smile. It's a horror movie.
Scary.
We're coming up on spooky season.
Spooky.
I like scary movies.
Uh-huh.
And what I like about them is they'll scare me and I'll go, ha, ha, and then I laugh at myself because I became scared at a movie. It's fun. It's funny to me. And I'm watching it on a plane, but I'm stopping myself from going, ah, because I don't want to look crazy on the plane going, ah. So I'm just watching it dead face, which I think is much creepier than screaming and laughing. If someone looks over and just sees me watching people being brutally murdered and it doesn't affect me emotionally.
Like you're looking for tips. The only way it's worse is if you got your notebook
That looks
out.
good. I got my notebook
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun way to do it.
Oh, good.
Make them smile.
Can you get scared on a small screen with small
Yeah, I can
headphones?
still get scared. Yeah, I get jump like, huh. Yeah.
I don't like a scary movie.
I think they're fun under the right circumstances.
That's what I hate about October is that the scary movie trailers and everything's sneaking into just your everyday life.
This Exorcist trailer is is bananas. It's too much.
It's too many
It's
places.
very
It's too
scary.
scary.
There's the billboard, like the posters, the art is freaky faces, crazy, scary kids, just whatever. Someone took a huge sticker of a sunflower, just plopped it over that scary face down by the Chipotle.
good.
Everett
Good.
showed me today. We
Good
were
for
both
them.
happy about it. We'd had enough.
If that's like that movie's either going to be. My mom told me that when the first Exorcist came out, that people were so afraid that they were showing up at the emergency room. They were put into the hospital because they were so afraid. And so this new movie, that trailer, one of the scariest trailers I've ever seen. If that movie, that's either all the scary moments that are in the movie, or that's the scariest movie that's ever existed. If they're saving some shit, you know what I mean?
I think it's scary.
I get so worried about the kids in those movies.
The actors?
Yeah, the kid actors, like the stuff they have to say.
Do you think it's fun for them though? Like
I
if
don't
you get to be a
know.
kid, you're
I
scaring
don't know.
people.
I think it'd fuck them up.
No, you got a couple kids in there that love scaring the shit out of everybody. I think you put a scar on them. That scared the fuck out of me. Just a rustle.
What is that?
Just a rustle. Guys, shut the
Why
fuck
are
up.
you yelling shit?
I
When there's
saw
something you can't do that.
In Minneapolis,
God
on
dang.
my run, I saw 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 albino squirrels.
What if it was the same one?
White. They were.
How many miles
apart.
were you at? You might have been.
No, miles and miles apart. I'm telling you, these white as the undriven snow. These were some white.
Here on the Patreon,
squirrels.
you can see Andy and I scared of something crawling on the tree
There
behind
is
us.
something up there. It's a squirrel.
It's something big.
It's
Squirrel.
it's too late for a squirrel.
I think we got
Squirrel,
a
possum, or
That's
raccoon.
a raccoon or a possum.
God, anything scarier than a possum?
You got to pay $5 to see the video version of this, you raccoon.
There's nothing there. Nothing up there. I think raccoon. 3 albino squirrels. 3 albino squirrels. And I had a friend tell me that they're common in Minneapolis because of how
Cold.
often it is there's
Snows.
snow on the ground. It's actually an advantage rather than a disadvantage. Where in most places they stand out. You're dead meat, buddy, but not when it's in the wintertime. They're thriving.
Look at that. Natural selection.
Thriving over there. 3 albino squirrels.
Love an albino squirrel.
Take that. You ever seen one?
No.
Never seen one.
You haven't lived.
Red eyes?
How
Couldn't
do you
get
know it
close
wasn't the
enough to
same
them.
one?
Because they were easily 10 to 12 miles apart.
How do you know it wasn't a regular squirrel with vitiligo?
Oh, that is a possum. I just saw it. I just got a glimpse of it.
Where is it?
It's in the
Is
tree,
it
but I just
coming
got a
down at
glimpse of
us?
it.
Are you sure it wasn't a raccoon?
No, because it was white and fluffy. That's
North America's
definitely
only native marsupial.
Yeah, that is
Right
dude.
up there in the tree.
Is it in the tree?
It's in the tree. It's just crawling around up there. If it gets too scared, it'll play dead. Can I tell you, I was at a friend's house once. They
No.
were just hanging out in the backyard, much like this. Much like this. Their dog goes around the corner, starts barking, going crazy. We're going, what's going on over there? We all get up. There's just a possum laying in the ground over there. Dog's barking at the possum. It's just laying. It looks like it's dead.
Don't fall for it.
And so we got the dog, put the dog inside. Everyone comes back around. Possum's gone. Playing dead, this possum. Saw it. Saw it in real time, guys.
This is not interesting. There's a trend on the internet right now where parents will pull up and their kids sleep in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times kids will fake being asleep to get carried in.
I used to do that.
And these parents will be like, all right, well, I think she's asleep. Well, we'll do the test. I'm going to hold her arm up. And if her arm stays up, it means she's asleep. And if it falls down, it means she's awake, which is the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And then these kids, these adorable kids, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to let go. And then they let go and the arm just stays up. And the kid's still perfectly still fake sleeping.
Very cute.
Do you guys
Very
ever
cute.
have this happen to
I've
you?
had I mean, I got to do it a little bit, but it's very fun. I like carrying a sleeping kid into the house.
Carrying a sleeping child?
Yeah.
Sleeping babe?
It's fun. I only did it maybe once or twice, and it, boy, makes you feel like a dad.
Just full on dad energy.
Yeah, it's good.
Do you ever have this happen to you in high school? You're driving around with your friends, you fall asleep, and then they slam on the brakes and scream in the car just to scare the fuck out of you?
Hilarious bit.
I probably told you this before because I believe it's kind of the prank lottery is driving down the interstate with a girlfriend. She's asleep in the passenger seat, and ahead of us, I see one of those tow trucks that's towing a big rig tractor and trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Not the trailers. It's towing it, and so it's facing the wrong way. So it's this semi truck, as you kids would call it, facing us. And I like speed through traffic to get right up on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just start screaming. And she wakes up and just sees the front of a big rig. It's really great.
That's a jackpot.
If you're able to do that, I suggest it.
It's one of the scary things. That's one of the scary things I can imagine.
I screamed the other day. Tori scared me real bad the other day. I was dead asleep. Just rolled over in my sleep so that I was facing her. And she goes, "Hi." And I screamed awake.
Oh, my God. That's
And she was like,
terrifying.
"Why are you so scared?" I just said hi. I'm like, "Well, it's 4 a.m. And you said
Why
hi
did she do
like
that?
we just bumped into each other at the mall.
Hey, how's it going?
Why
It
did
scared
she
me
do that?
so bad.
That
She was also awake, and I moved, so she
But
thought
you
that
were not awake.
I was not awake. I moved, so she thought I was awake. She gave me a hi.
Was she trying to
and
get
I
some
went,
hanky panky?
"Ah!" And then she laughed and laughed.
Was she trying to get some hanky panky at
I
4 in the
don't
morning?
think so. I
That's
don't
very
think
funny. But not now. Not after she saw that she's sitting there with a coward.
Not after she heard how I screamed.
My wife will do this thing
Meh.
that's real sweet, where if I breathe a little louder than she finds acceptable, she slaps the bed like she's counting out a wrestler,
Uh-huh.
and it wakes me up. She did it the other day. My fucking heart didn't slow down for like 15 minutes. I couldn't fall back asleep because I'm just like a decibel above where she thinks it's okay.
That's a Robert Hawkins joke about waking somebody up. He's like, fire. Yahtzee. Yahtzee. No time for Yahtzee. There's a fire. Just go back. I'm a bad snorer, but I tell Maura.
I heard you're good at it.
One of the best is to just shove me, and she shoves me. I don't wake up, but I stop snoring.
Oh, that's nice.
No memory of it happening, but wakes me up. I was going crazy on this, just laying full on my foot.
You guys ready for a new topic?
Okay,
I got another one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe this could be a recurring bit of a time that I was outraged.
Yeah.
When you say it like that, every time you come up with something, you're trying to make it a segment.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I've been doing a lot of VO work, and I know how to sell it now.
You're good.
I'll tell you this.
You've grown.
If we have a segment about when we're outraged, I think I can contribute.
We stay at a nice hotel last weekend. We stay at a nice hotel.
Where'd you go?
We went to Solvang, California.
What's unique about Solvang?
It's a Danish town.
I got
Did
the
you bring a
topic.
hype guy?
I got the topics ahead of time.
It's a Danish town.
Uh-huh.
But we stay at I like staying at a nice hotel, because we stayed at so many shitty hotels throughout our life. So it's pretty nice. And a couple days before we get there, we get a text or email from the hotel telling us that they have this new thing called invisible service, where you don't see anyone. They're like, you won't see us the whole time that you're there. And I thought immediately, this is actually also a joke idea. I thought immediately I stayed at some Best Westerns that had invisible service. But they don't do anything. They text you a code.
Is there a front desk?
Is
there a front desk?
No front desk. There's nothing.
I hate it already.
Nothing.
Can I
If
stop
you want fresh towels, you put your towels in a basket and leave them outside your door.
Can I stop you? Keep the segment separate if you could. Don't cross-pollinate.
I just felt like it was such a spin on we are offering no service and no
Your room
reduction in price.
Is the same price. We're just not paying people.
Yeah, we're not paying anyone to help you at any point.
That somebody got a raise though when they had that idea. They were like,
"Yeah,
here's the spin."
Because it sounds fancy, but then when you get there and you can't find your room, you're like, "I sure would be nice if there was a desk with a person at it."
Oh man, I know when I'm at a hotel and I need a plunger, I just love not seeing anybody. When I need something, a bottle of water, my biggest complaint about hotels is seeing people.
I think if you at a hotel and you need a plunger, I don't want to make eye contact with anybody.
I text you guys about needing a plunger.
Yeah,
Did we talk about that on here?
No, I don't think so. How'd that shake out?
I called because I
Put it in your
sat there.
pockets?
I sat in I sat on the edge of the bed, just like my feet on the ground and my like elbows resting on my knees with my phone in my hand. There was a clogged toilet in the hotel, and my body language was like, if you walked in, you'd be like, "There's a body in there," like because I did every part of me was the same as if I had accidentally killed someone and they're in the bathroom, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, man. My first thing was, first of all, it's a hotel with regular toilets. It wasn't like the airport kind that goes like and sucks it all in.
Yeah.
So I get there and I take a pee with
clogged it with a pee.
I don't use any. No. I don't use any toilet paper.
This guy's peeing thick.
Big kid.
I didn't clog it with a pee. I flush it with a pee, and it has some trouble just getting the water down. So then I take a non-pee and I use some TP.
Jerked off.
I use a regular amount. I take a regular number 2, and it just done. Nothing happens, and I go, you know what? That'll drain down, and I flush it again. Then it's just at the brim.
Starts coughing,
and then it just starts kind of changing color because stuff's dissolving, and it becomes a bit of a wreck. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I come back 6 hours later from the cigar shop, I'm like, we got a problem here, and I go to bed. Thinking and closed the door.
You went to bed with it in there?
I closed the door to the bathroom. I was like, it'll be gone tomorrow. It wasn't. I wake up the next morning. I got to check out. I text you guys. I'm like, I think I got to fucking leave town and not say anything about it.
Change your name.
And then you brought up the point that, like, hey, if they come in there and they go, we're going to charge for this.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I call the person and they go, we'll send someone up. I leave my room and just stand in the hallway and pretend to be on the phone. And then watch the guy go in and come out and then kind of clear the way and then go in and he'd fixed it. It was still a bit of a mess.
You think you knew it was you?
No, I was on the phone.
This couldn't be the guy on the phone.
The guy can't clog a toilet. He's talking.
This is one of them ghost poops.
The show rented me an apartment in Winnipeg when I was up there shooting. I barely am in it except for sleeping. I have a cleaning person that comes and it's really just, I tried to make it not a mess. I really lived like a bachelor who kept his house clean. So I leave and I was like, man, this place, everything's where it needs to be. I put the towels in the laundry, yada, yada, nothing's gone. And then I get an email. They're like, hey, the rental company said they're going to charge you because you broke the toilet seat. I was like, what? At first, I was immediately like, dispute? No, didn't happen. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
And I remember after they said it, I was like, there was a toilet seat in this. There were 2 bedrooms or 2 bathrooms, and there was one in there that was like a little loosey goosey,
Yeah.
but it was in the one I never went in.
Yeah.
So who cares? But I'm like, what kind of? Even if that is true, wouldn't you just buy? Someone rented a place from you for 8-9 weeks or whatever. You just go, yeah, we'll pay $20 for a toilet. This guy's probably having a rough go of it.
Yeah. I feel like you're getting that much money from somebody, you gotta. My mom rented a house for a month in Sacramento, Airbnb a place for 1 month. Got the lady to run a phone line, to install a phone line so my mom could put a fax machine in for her work.
Fax machine.
Yeah, got this lady to pay for a phone line.
Was this recently?
Yes, to be. She
The
works.
story is confusing because Airbnb exists, but also fax machines exist.
But she works for. My mom's job is she works at a doctor's office. She is the liaison.
She works at that doctor's office that was approved in '95.
Yes, she is a liaison between the doctor's office and the insurance companies, and they fax stuff back and forth sometimes. So she needed a fax machine. Which
They
needed a phone
don't
line.
have to do that. I think they can be emailing stuff.
They're faxing still, dog. And so, but my point is, like, you're giving somebody a chunk of change for a full month. You put a toilet seat on.
Yeah.
Look
I
the
also
other way.
don't know. I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm not trying to shame
I
anyone,
love
but I don't
those.
know. It seems difficult to break a toilet seat.
For sure. I think they could look at the person and be like, that person's breaking toilet seats. This person's regular wear and tear.
Dar was just full on sitting up there. I didn't even see that. Well, that
I think we did it.
is a podcast, ladies and germs.
Few real successful segments.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
one will never do it
Tommy,
again.
you got big news. I don't think you've announced it on the podcast, but the Christmas Shift, your show,
You can't say it yet.
has a release day that we can't say. I thought you could say. I thought the
No,
release
no.
day was out.
That's why I texted into a thread privately.
He's
Oh,
a good
all right.
friend,
Well,
you know.
I just
How
got
was I to
just
know that
got
the release
warned.
date would be
I would have said
a
it if
secret?
it was a thing. It shouldn't be a secret, but I got a second call today that nobody's supposed to say anything till they say it first.
Well,
Keep it a
I've
secret.
never heard it then.
That's just the rule. That is they're just like everything has to run through them, and you have to on the like you can't say it until we say it publicly or whatever, press release type stuff.
It's like the first time you say I love you.
The other thing that I don't get why any shows and things do is the whole like when you're on set, no photos, like any. I get it if it's a fucking Game of Thrones Succession type
No
show,
spoilers.
but generally for your comedies, like outside of maybe like a Barry, like on sets, people should just be. Don't you want people thinking about it all the time when it's being made, being
yeah.
promoted?
Hey man, I just did an animal clip show. They asked me not to put anything on social media.
Why?
No pictures.
Isn't it weird?
It's weird.
I think now so many things get made and then canned. Maybe they're like,
It's weird.
Might not.
It's not that because it exists on. I mean, it's existed before that kind of trend started, and also exists on major shows that, like, I work on a network sitcom that's on CBS. That's the same. They have the same rule. Like that '90s show has the rule, and they'll like fire you.
That's weird. That's
no
weird. Dog.
spoilers on that '90s show.
Well, I want to wrap this up because I was not on the thread that got the release date, so I want to find out this release date.
Oh, I thought you knew.
Okay, let's wrap it up. But sorry, we can't let you know.
Yeah,
We'll be able to do
rules
by
are rules.
Patreon Thursday. No one would have heard it, but I did just get the call today, and I thought maybe wise not to do it.
I get it.
October 21st, Alex and I are going to be in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Little Theater. You can get tickets on my website, andywoodhull.com. We will also be at a Little Theater in Kansas City, Kansas on October 22nd.
Yeah, suck our dick, Kansas City, Missouri.
What?
I don't know.
Why?
You can just come and enjoy the show.
Yeah,
We'll be
people
doing
from
stand-up.
Kansas City,
No.
Missouri may come.
Fuck them. All
See
right.
you.
Bye.
Bye.